Hello, my name is Dr. Miller First, and I am a VE resource teacher at Pinellas Central Elementary. I am also the Promise Time Academy Extended Learning Program facilitator at our school. Today, in this first part of the series on MAP, or Measures of Academic Progress, I would like to talk to you a little bit about what the MAP assessment is. MAP is a computerized adaptive test which helps teachers, parents, and administrators improve learning for all students and make informed decisions to promote a child's academic growth. RIT scores, RIT, are used to track your child's progress over a period of time. The scores are not meant to be used as a tool of comparison between students, nor are the scores used as an indication of how well they were doing in a particular subject. MAP scoring is a means of representing your child's academic skill set. When taking these computerized adaptive tests, the difficulty of each question is based on how well a student answers all the previous questions. In an optimal test, a student answers approximately half of the items correctly and half incorrectly. MAP growth measures what students know and informs what they're ready to learn next. By dynamically adjusting to each student's responses, MAP growth creates a personalized assessment experience that accurately measures performance. There are timely, easy-to-use reports that help teachers teach, students learn, and administrators lead. In the first part of this series, I'm going to talk about the Student Profile Report, which you are more than welcome to speak with your child's teacher about. They are able to pull this report and go over the information with you. The sample reports that I'm going to provide are reports that I have pulled where identification information has been removed for anonymity purposes. The MAP, or the Measures of Academic Progress assessment, is taken 3 times per year. It is taken in the fall, it is taken in the winter, and it is taken in the spring. The winter assessment measures progress, which is what we're going to be taking a look at. The spring assessment is going to measure the student's growth to that point. Again, the scale used to measure a student's progress is called the RIT scale, short for RASH unit. It is used to chart a student's academic growth from year to year. So why is this important? This is important because the measures of academic progress has been proven to correlate very well with the FSA that students take in grades 3 through 5, whether that be taken in the fall or the winter prior to the spring FSA test. Today we're going to be taking a look at just the math. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to show you what the FSA scores look like and how they relate to what we call that RIT score. Even though RIT stands for RASH unit, it is not important that we understand what that means. RIT score really means ready to instruct today. So rather than think of it as RIT or the RASH unit, think of it as ready to instruct today. So it lets us know where our students are in terms of being ready to be instructed on this particular day. On this piece of paper that you see in front of you, there is the FSA. This FSA, today we're only going to be looking at third grade. So it tells us that on the FSA test, students receive a scale score, and it provides us with a level 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Ultimately, in order for a child to be considered on grade level, they are performing at a level 3. They are receiving a scale score between 297 and 310. Again, this is on the math. In the fall, this is where the students would need to fall in order to perform adequately on the FSA taken in the spring. And below here is the winter, which we just took right before winter break. As you look at the third grade, the RIT, or the Ready to Instruct Today, ranges from 100 to 189, and between the 1st and 25th percentile. If a student falls within this range, they are considered inadequate or projected to achieve a level 1 on the FSA taken in the spring. If a child RIT score is between 190 and 196, or between the 26th and 44th percentile, they are considered to be below satisfactory, just below grade level, or projected to achieve a level 2 on the FSA if taken in the spring. Consequently, if they fall between a 197 and a 204, or between the 45th and 68th percentile, they will be at the satisfactory range or earn a level 3 on the FSA, which is taken in the spring. So I'm going to show you 3 different student profile reports, which again, you are welcome to ask teachers, your student's teacher, about, and they can always print these. They can go over the information with you. Again, all identifying information has been removed so that the student to protect students' anonymity. So let's first take a look at a student who has fallen in the inadequate range, or during the MAP winter test, has received a RIT score between 100 and 189, or fallen between the 1st and 25th percentile. Okay. For this particular student, it provides you information about how the student did on the winter MAP assessment. And it says, to help the student boost their performance in mathematics and better match her U.S. national peers, to review the scores in the instructional areas, which are right here. We have 4 instructional areas that we focus on in mathematics at the elementary level. Those are number and operations, operations and algebraic thinking, measurement and data, and geometry. It also tells us that this person's score could benefit from focus in number and operations, which is why this says suggested area of focus. In the next series, you'll see the information that talks more about the instructional areas. Again, this person who scored a 185 fell into this level 1 RIT range. If they were to take the FSA in the spring at this point in time, they would receive a level 1 or be considered inadequate and not be on grade level. Next, I'm going to take a look at another student. These are all third grade students that we are looking at. Again, this tells us the instructional areas in which we teach math. This student received a 191 as a RIT score. So this person, or this child, fell in the range between 190 and 196, or between the 26th and 44th percentile. In the winter of 2018-2019, according to this student would, if taken in the spring, receive a 2 or a below satisfactory on the FSA. And finally, let's take a look at this student. This student, it provides the same information that it does for the other students, but it also provides their RIT score of 202, which, if I go back here, we're looking at them falling between the 197 and 204 RIT band, and between the 45th and 68th percentile. Here are their instructional areas, showing their suggested areas of focus and their relative strengths. For example, this particular student has a relative strength in geometry. Over here to the left, it tells us that if taken in spring, according to measures of academic progress, that this student would receive a 3 on the FSA if taken in the spring. There's a lot of good material and a lot of good information that can be gleaned from the reports that that teachers have access to, and reports for your students. So that is a review of where a student might be in terms of their learning at this time of the school year. Again, we will be taking this test again in the spring, likely right before the FSA test, which is also taken in the spring. But we generally consider our winter test to be very, very close and very, very accurate in terms of how close the student is in terms of ready to pass the FSA. Again, we have 5 levels in the FSA. I did not bring up anyone who fell into the level 4 or the level 5 because I wanted to focus on the first 3 levels. Ultimately, again, we want our students to, in order to be considered on grade level, to be in this area right here, have a RIT score between 197 and 204, and between 45th and 68th percentile. This would give the student somewhere between a 297 and a 310 scale score on the FSA, which would be considered satisfactory in terms of math. That's all I have for today. Please ask if you have any questions. You can always reach me at the school. Again, my name is Dr. Miller First. I am the VE resource teacher. I am also the Promise Time Academy and ELP learning program site facilitator. You may also contact your child's teacher regarding how well they did on the MAP assessment, which we took just before winter break, and receive a copy of their report. There will be a second presentation, where I will go over the student progress reports, which will show, again, it'll show the progress that the student made between fall and winter. And that's a very important report, and I look forward to sharing that with you. If you have any questions, again, please contact the school. You may ask for me, you may ask for your teacher, or anyone in administration. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. We're always looking forward to doing what's best for our children at Pinellas Central Elementary, and we hope that this presentation has assisted you in better understanding the measures of academic progress, or the MAP test, which our students take 3 times per year. Thank you very much for your attention.